Good morning, students of class 5. Students, I'm sure all of you are in a cheerful mood today. Students, the weather really affects our mood. And since the rainy season has started, all of you must be in a good mood. Students, today I'm going to start poem 3, Paper Boats. This poem is written by Rabindranath Tagore. I'm sure all of you know that our national anthem is also written by Rabindranath Tagore. Students, please take out your Wordsworth English Reader book and turn to page number 60. I'll be reciting and explaining poem 3, Paper Boats. Students, before I start this poem, there's a question for you. Can you make boat using paper? Have you ever tried making a boat out of old newspaper, magazines, and floating them in puddles or streams? Well, if you haven't done it, please try and learn to make 2 or 3 different kinds of paper boats. As a child, you all like to play different games. But as rainy season is there, it is difficult to play other games. And I'm sure all of you must be making paper boats out of old newspaper and sailing them and enjoying yourself. Students, one more thing. Through this poem, the poet wants to convey us the message of peace, love, and joy. In the following poem, the poet talks about his own experience of floating paper boats down a flowing stream. So now I'm going to recite poem 3, Paper Boats, composed by Rabindranath Tagore. Please listen to me carefully. Day by day, I float my paper boats one by one down the running stream. In big black letters, I write my name on them and the name of the village where I live. I hope that someone in some strange land will find them and know who I am. I load my little boats with tulip flower for my garden and hope that these blooms of dawn will be carried safely to land in the night. I launch my paper boats and look up into the sky and see the clouds setting the white bulging sails. I know not what playmate of mine in the sky sends them down the air to race with my boats. When night comes, I bury my face in my arms and dream that my paper boats float on and on under the midnight stars. The fairies of sleep are sailing in them, and the leading is their baskets full of dreams. This was the poem, students. Now something about the poet Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was born in 1861 and he passed away in the year 1941. He was a Bengali poet who was also known as Gurudev. He won the Nobel Prize in Literature in the year 1930 for Gitanjali, a collection of poems. Now, students, there are certain new words in this poem whose meaning I'll be explaining to you. Students, the first word is running. Running means flowing, something which flows, not stagnant. It is not stable. It keeps on moving, running, flowing, running, flowing. Water flows, isn't it? So, and boats generally floats on and sails on flowing water. The second word is strange. Strange means foreign, which is not known. Strange, foreign. Foreign means something which is unknown. Strange, foreign. Strange, foreign. Then the third word is load. Load means to fill. We load the truck, we load the trolley, we load the car, isn't it? So load means to fill. Load means to fill. Load means to fill. Then the fourth word is blooms. Here blooms means flowers. Flowers, blooms, flowers. Blooms, flowers. And in the poem, the poet is talking about Shuli flowers. They are nice, small, delicate, white color flowers with little orange tinge on them. So, blooms means flowers. Blooms, flowers. Then the fifth word is dawn. Dawn means early morning. Early morning. In Hindi, we call it bhor. Time before the sunrise. Before the sunrise, that time. When the birds start moving out of their nest, cattle start moving, that time is known as dawn. Before the sunrise. And Hindi, you call it as bhor. And students, for your knowledge, the antonym of dawn is dusk. Dusk is that Godhuli Bela, when the cattle starts returning back from the fields to their sheds. So, the opposite, the antonym of dawn is dusk, and dawn means early morning. And the spelling of dusk is D-U-S-K, dusk. Dusk is the antonym of dawn. So, dawn, early morning. Then students, the sixth word is launch. Launch means to set in motion. Launch means to set in motion. Launch means to set in motion. Something when it is ready to start. That is known as launch. Launch, to set in motion. Then students, the seventh word is bulging. B-U-L-G-I-N-G. Bulging means swollen, फूला हुआ. Bulging, swollen. Bulging, swollen. Bulging, swollen. जिसको हम हिंदी में कहते हैं बेटा फूला हुआ. Bulging, swollen. Then the eighth word is playmate. Means friend with whom you play. Who's a partner in your play. Playmate means friend. Generally, we play with our friends. So, friends are also playmates. Playmate, friend. Playmate, friend. Then, students, the ninth word is bury. Bury means to hide. Chipa dena beta. Bury, to hide. Bury, to hide. And students, the last word is, 10th word is leading. Leading means cargo of the boat. Cargo means goods. Beta, that place of the boat where you keep goods. There are certain places in ships and boats where you keep goods, and those goods are transferred from one place to another. And goods are also known as cargo. Leading, cargo of the boat, that place of the boat where goods are kept. Leading means cargo of the boat. So once again, I'll revise all the 10 new word meanings for you. Students, the first word is running. Running means flowing. Running, flowing. Second word is strange. Strange, foreign. Strange, foreign. The third word is load. Load means to fill. Load, to fill. The fourth word is blooms. Blooms means flowers. Blooms means flowers. The fifth word is dawn, and dawn means early morning. Dawn, early morning. The sixth word is launch. Launch means to set in motion. Launch, to set in motion. The seventh word is bulging. Bulging means swollen. Bulging, swollen. The eighth word is playmate. Playmate means friend. Eighth word is playmate. Playmate means friend. The ninth word is bury. Bury means to hide. Bury means to hide. Bury means to hide. And the 10th word is leading. Leading means cargo of the boat. Leading means cargo of the boat. And these were the new words, students. Now once again, I'll recite the poem for you, then I'll explain it. Paper Boats by Rabindranath Tagore. Day by day, I float my paper boats, one by one, down the running stream. In big black letters, I write my name on them and the name of the village where I live. I hope that someone in some strange land will find them and know who I am. I load my little boats with Shuli flower from our garden and hope that these blooms of the dawn will be carried safely to land in the night. I launch my paper boats and look up into the sky and see the little clouds setting the white bulging sails. I know not what playmate of mine in the sky sends him down the air to race with my boats. When night comes, I bury my face in my arms and dream that my paper boats float on and on under the midnight stars. The ferries of sleep are sailing in them, and the leading ins their basket full of dreams. Students, the poem Paper Boat tell us that children are highly imaginative. In this poem, the child speaker plays with his paper boats. He writes his names and address on his boat and hopes that the boats will land in a strange place and that the people there will become aware of who he is. The speaker also loads his boats with Shuli flowers of his garden and sets them off, hoping they will come safely to land. And those flowers are a gift from the speaker to the persons of the land where the boat reaches. The speaker, that is the poet, a child, imagines as well that a friend in the sky sends down the clouds to race with his boats. He also dreams that fairies sail in his boats at night. Now, in this poem, students, in addition to showing how imaginative the children are, the poem shows how the children long for connection with other people and places. Now, day by day, I float my paper boats one by one down the running stream. Students, in this poem, the poet, as a child, imagines that he is floating his paper boats one by one down in a flowing stream, a stream which is flowing. He makes paper boats and starts flowing them in the running stream. And in big black letters, I write my name on them and the name of the village where I live. And the boats which the child has made out of paper, the child has written his name and his address, that is the name of his village, in big black letters. I hope that someone in some strange land will find them and know who I am. And the child has written his name and address on the boat with big black letters, hoping that someone somewhere in a strange, unknown land will find those boats and will come to know who the poet is. This is the imagination of the child. I load my little boats with Shuli flower from a garden and hope that these blooms of the dawn will be carried safely to land in the night. The child, after making the paper boats, write his name and the name of his village on the boat with big black letters. What does the child do? He fills his boat with Shuli flowers, flowers from his own garden. And those flowers are a gift for the person who will find his boats. And the child also imagines that these boats are loaded with flowers as a token of gift and love from the child to the person who finds. They'll keep on sailing. They'll keep on sailing. And Shuli flower, students, they generally bloom at the dawn. Beta wo bhor mein hi khilte hain. That flowers, they generally bloom in the dawn. So they are known as blooms of dawn. और ये जो बेटा फ्लावर्स है बोट के अंदर उसने लोड किए हैं as a token of gift and love for the person who finds his boat, and they'll be carried safely to the land, and the boat will keep on flowing even in the night also. I launch my paper boats and look up into the sky and see the little clouds setting the while bulging sails. After setting his boat sail, which are loaded with flowers, the child looks up into the sky. And then what he imagines? He imagines that little clouds are sailing along with his boats. They are racing with his boats. I know not what playmate of mine in the sky send them down the air to race with my boats. And the child imagines that one of his friends in the sky has sent the clouds to race with his boats. He's just imagination. So this is the imagination of the child. He's imagining that one of his playmates, that is his friend, in the sky has sent the clouds to race and compete with his paper boats. When night comes, I bury my face in my arms and dream that my paper boats float on and on under the midnight stars. What happens generally when night comes? The child, he buries his face in his arms and he sleeps. And in his sleeps, he dreams that his paper boats are floating on and on. They keep on floating. They're moving. Even the night has fallen, but still his boats are continuously floating. The stars are there in the sky, but his boats are flowing and floating. The fairies of sleep are sailing in them, and he imagines that the fairies of sleep, they are sailing in his paper boats, and the letting in their basketfuls of dream. And those fairies have filled his boats with baskets full of dreams. So I hope this poem, students, is clear to you. This poem is written by Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore was an outstanding poet of modern India. And you all know that he's also known as Gurudev, and he won the Nobel Prize. He was the first Indian to get the Nobel Prize in literature in the year 1913 for Gitanjali, a collection of poems. And this poem, Paper Boats, is on a childhood experience. Rabindranath Tagore, students, found in children a mystic quality. The poem narrates the child's experience of floating paper boats down the stream. The child imagines that some other child tries to compete with his boats by sending clouds down the air in the sky. The poem shows that the child's peculiar psychology, that the clouds are competing with his boats. So that's the reason all of us know that children are very imaginative. And all children love the world of playfulness and fun. They like to have fun. They like to derive fun from small things. So on a rainy day also, the child derives fun and is highly imaginative. He is deriving fun by sailing the paper boats down the running stream. He sends and sails his paper boats with the intention that they would reach some foreign land, that is some distant unknown land. And out of curiosity, he writes his names and address on those boats. And he hopes that somewhere, someone will find them and know him. Because he has written his name and address in big black block letters. The child has always a deep sense of love. He wishes to present the unknown friend who will be receiving his boats with gifts. So what does he do? He loads his boats with tulip flowers from his garden. He hopes that the boats will carry the flowers safely to the distant land in the night, and hope that somebody will receive his boats which are filled with flowers as a gift for the unknown friend. And when the child looks up, he sees the white clouds sailing in the sky. And he starts thinking that the other child from the sky has sent these white clouds down the air to compete with his boats. And at night, he sees in his dreams when he's asleep that his paper boats, they are flowing. They are flowing in the night under the stars. And fairies are sailing in them, and they have laden his boats with basket full of dreams. And in his dream, he is happy. He is happy to know that the fairies, the angels are sailing in his boats. Thus, the poet is writing from the point of view what a child can imagine. Because children are innocent and natural, whereas the others are influenced by time, place, and society. So, in a way, the boats are also a symbol that they cross all the obstacles of life and they reach their destination. I hope, students, now the poem is clear to you. Students, this poem, Paper Boats, tells us that children are highly imaginative and they derive fun out of little things. They are always happy deriving fun from little things. This poem also narrates a child's experience. Now I'll be once again explaining the poem. Day by day, I float my paper boats one by one down the running stream. Now, what does the child do? The child makes paper boats out of paper, and one by one he floats his paper boats in the running stream. He floats his paper boats in the flowing stream. Because rainy season, he wants to have fun. So what is he doing? He is making paper boats and flowing them in the flowing stream. And what does he do? In big black letters, I write my name on them and the name of the village where I live. I hope that someone in some strange land will find them and know who I am. And what does he do? After making the paper boats, he writes his name and the name of his village, that is his address where he lives. What the child, after making the boat, writes his name and the name of his village where he lives in big black bold letters, hoping that someone will find his boats sailing, and when he finds them, that unknown person from that foreign, that strange land will come to know that who the child is. Because when the other person will read the name of the child and address, so that person can imagine, can come to know that these boats belong to a person or a child whose name is so and so and who lives in that particular village or place. I load my little boats with Shuli flower from our garden and hope that these blooms of dawn will be carried safely to land in the night. And what does he do? As a token of love and gift, just imagine that how the child longs for the connection with other people and places, that what does he do? He loads. बेटा वो अपनी बोट पे क्या भर देता है? शूली फ्लावर्स. शूली फ्लावर्स बेटा छोटे छोटे व्हाइट रंग के फ्लावर्स होते हैं जिनकी स्टेम थोड़ी सी ऑरेंज होती है, एंड ये जनरली एकदम भोर में डॉन के टाइम पे ये ब्लूम करते हैं. सो दीज आर ऑल्सो नोन एज ब्लूम्स ऑफ डॉन. द पोएट हैज कॉल्ड देम ब्लूम्स ऑफ डॉन क्योंकि ये डॉन के समय ही बेटा खिलते हैं. तो वो जो पोएट है, बच्चा है, अपनी बोट को शूली फ्लावर से फिल कर देता है एज अ टोकन ऑफ गिफ्ट एंड लव फॉर दैट अननोन पर्सन who will find his boats. And the child also imagines that in the night also his boats, they'll continuously flow and reach safely to an unknown foreign land where that unknown friend will receive his boats which are filled with shuli flowers as a token of gift and love from the child. And the child has also written his name in big black letters as to let the other person know somewhere in a distant place that who the child is. I launch my paper boats and look up into the sky and see the white clouds setting thee while bulging sails. I know not what playmate of mine in the sky sends him down the air to race with my boats. Then after letting his boats sail in the flowing water, the child looks up in the sky. And what does he see in the sky? The white little clouds. बेटा बच्चा अपनी जो बोट्स है उनको फ्लो करने के बाद ऊपर स्काई में देखता है तो what does he see? He see white little clouds. They are white and bulging. बेटा bulging वो पूरी तरह से bulge किए हुए हैं. Swollen. They are swollen. फूले हुए हैं. And the child imagines that another friend of his who's in the sky, he has sent those clouds. And वो clouds जो है white bulging clouds, they are sailing. And this child imagines that one friend of the child from the sky has sent those clouds to compete with his boats, to race with his boats. कि उसके एक फ्रेंड ने जो स्काई में है भेजा है उन क्लाउड्स को बोट के साथ रेस लगाने को. So he is imagining that those clouds, those white little bulging clouds are competing with his boats. रेस लगा रहे हैं बेटा बोट के साथ. And when night comes, I bury my face in my arms and dream that my paper boats float on and on under the midnight stars. The fairies of sleep are sailing in them, and the letting ins their basketfuls of dream. Then what happens when night comes? The child buries his face in my arms. वो जो बेटा बच्चा है वो अपने arms में अपना face छुपाता है and then he sleeps. And in his sleep also he dreams about his boats on which he has written his name with big black letters. He has filled those boats with shuli flowers for an unknown friend in a distant land. And then he's dreaming that the stars are shining in the sky at night, but his boats are continuously flowing. The boats are floating and flowing and flowing. बेटा वो रात में भी सपने में सोच रहा है कि उसके बोट्स जो हैं वो कंटिन्यूसली फ्लोट करते हैं, आगे बढ़ते ही जा रहे हैं. And in his boats, the fairies of sleep, the fairies, the angels, they are sailing in his boats. And what have they done? Those angels, those fairies, वो परियों ने उसकी बोट में क्या भर दिया है? They have laden their baskets. उनके पास baskets है जिसमें बहुत सारे dreams, baskets full of dreams है, वो उसके बोट में भर दिया है. So, students, this poem tells us that children are highly imaginative and they long for connection with other people and places. और उनकी जो फीलिंग्स है वो नेचुरल है. एंड उस बच्चे ने भी अपने बोट में अपना नाम लिखा so that the unknown person can know that who has made these paper boats. These boats belongs to whom? The child has written his name. You all also generally write your names on your pencil box, on your bags, so that the other person comes to know that this things belongs to whom. Children have got this tendency, isn't it? And that child has also filled his boat with shuli flowers as a token of love and gift for the person who will be receiving his boats in an unknown distant land. That person will be also unknown and the child doesn't know कि वो boat कहाँ जाएगी, but still that child is filling his boat with flowers, imagining कि जिसको भी boat मिलेगी उसके लिए वो child का gift होगा those flowers. He want to send gifts, so he's sending those flowers as a token of love and gift. And out of curiosity, he writes his name and address on those boards. And he hopes that somewhere will find them and know that who he is. And he wishes to present the unknown friend with gifts, so he loads his boards with flowers from his own garden. And he hopes that those boats will carry the flowers safely to that unknown person, unknown place. And when the child looks up, what does he see? He sees the white clouds sailing in the sky. And what does he imagine? He imagines that he has a friend in the sky, and that friend of his has sent those white clouds down the air to compete with his boats. And then in the night, when he sleeps, he dreams that his boats are sailing under the stars. And who are sailing in them? Fairies are sailing in them, and they have laden his boats with basket full of dreams. I hope, students, now the poem is clear to you. Now, students, we'll be continuing this poem in our next video. Thank you, students. Have a good day ahead.